He just asked for his balance. That was all Willi David said. No demands. No attitude. No anger. Just a soft, tired voice that barely rose above the quiet hum of the bank hall. Across the glass desk, the woman everyone in the city called the bank queen let out a short laugh. It wasn't loud. It wasn't friendly. It was the kind of laugh that quietly says, "You don't belong here." Before we go any further, if you believe real stories still exist that can shake hearts and change perspectives, take a second to like this video and subscribe to Kindly Tube, because what you're about to hear will stay with you longer than you expect. Willi David stood there in faded jeans and a jacket that had clearly seen many winters. His hands were rough. His eyes were gentle. His shoulders carried more than just a backpack, they carried years of responsibility. Willi was a single father. 3 years earlier, his wife had passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him alone with their 7-year-old daughter, Emma. From that moment on, his life became a quiet routine of early mornings, long shifts, school drop-offs, cheap dinners, and whispered bedtime promises that tomorrow would somehow be better. He worked 2 jobs. A daytime job loading boxes at a supply warehouse. A night job cleaning offices downtown. Some days, he barely slept. But he never missed Emma's school meetings. He never forgot her medicine. He never once complained, because she was watching him, and he wanted her to grow up believing that strength could be gentle. That morning, Emma hugged him tightly before school and said, "Daddy, don't forget to eat today." Willi smiled. "I won't. I promise." But promises are easier to make than to keep. Later that afternoon, at a small grocery store, his card was declined. Once. Then again. The cashier looked at him kindly but helplessly. "I'm sorry, sir." Willi felt the familiar tightness in his chest. He paid with the last cash he had and quietly walked out. He didn't panic. He didn't get angry. He just went to the bank. He stood in line, waiting patiently while people in tailored suits were guided to private offices. When it was finally his turn, the teller glanced at his card and hesitated. "Your account needs verification," she said. "Please go to the executive floor." That's how Willi found himself sitting across from Victoria Blake, the woman newspapers called the bank queen. She had built her reputation on sharp deals, bold investments, and an even sharper tongue. "What can I help you with?" she asked without looking up from her screen. Willi cleared his throat gently. "I just want to see my balance." She finally looked at him. Her eyes scanned his clothes, his worn shoes, his tired face. Then she smiled and laughed. "You're serious," she said lightly. "Do you know where you are?" Willi nodded. "Yes, ma'am." She leaned back in her chair. "You work in logistics, right? I know what your company pays. What kind of balance are you expecting to see?" Willi didn't argue. He didn't feel insulted. He just quietly repeated, "Please, just check." Victoria shrugged and typed in his account number. Her smile faded. Her fingers paused. Her eyes narrowed. She refreshed the screen. The room went silent. The number didn't make sense. Not hundreds. Not thousands. Not even tens of thousands. Millions. $5,240,000. Her breathing changed. She leaned closer to the screen, then slowly sat back. "Mr. David," she said carefully, "this account shows over $5 million. Willi blinked. "Oh," he said softly. "So it went through." Victoria stared at him. "Went through? What went through?" Willi hesitated, then replied, "My father." Her eyebrows lifted. "Your father?" "Yes," he said. "We hadn't spoken in years. He left when I was young. I didn't even know where he was. After my wife passed away, I sent him a letter. I didn't ask for money. I just told him he had a granddaughter." Victoria searched the linked files. Her face changed completely. His father wasn't just alive, he had been a silent partner in a multinational shipping corporation. A quiet billionaire. A man who had kept his distance from the world and from his own son. Until that letter. A year later, he had passed away. And he had left everything to Willi. "I didn't come here because I wanted to be rich," Willi said gently. "I came here because I was worried my daughter's school payment wouldn't go through." Victoria swallowed. Her voice softened. "I owe you an apology." Willi smiled faintly. "It's okay. People see clothes, not stories." He left the bank without buying luxury cars or changing his life overnight. The first thing he did was pay Emma's school fees for the entire year. He fixed the broken heater in their apartment. He bought her a warm winter coat and a pink bicycle. That night, Emma hugged him tightly and whispered, "Daddy, you look lighter today." Willi kissed her hair. "Because we're going to be okay." But his story didn't stop there. Within months, Willi created a small foundation to help struggling single parents with food, rent, and school supplies. He hired people who needed second chances. He opened a free evening learning center in his neighborhood. He didn't become famous. He became useful. And Victoria? She never laughed at another quiet man again. Because one soft voice had taught her something money never could. You can never measure a person's worth by what you see on the outside. Some of the richest souls walk in worn shoes. So the next time someone quietly says, "I just want to see my balance," remember, you may be standing in front of a story bigger than you'll ever imagine. And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Kindly Tube, where real stories still live.